Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel and I am super excited to be back on Trinity Stamps YouTube channel with a really quick and easy, clean and simple birthday card using two different stencil sets, a die set, and then a sentiment stamp as well. Today I'm going to be using the Trinity Stamps Slimline balloons layering stencils and the confetti layering stencils, as well as the 4-bar card die set to create an A2 card. So I've cut a piece of white cardstock down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm lining up the first stencil, which is marked as stencil A for the balloon set, and I'm going to temporarily hold it in place with some purple tape. Then I'm going to use some Distress Oxide ink and a rounded domed foam blender to blend on the color over one balloon. The great thing about this stencil is that each balloon is separated by space so that you can make each balloon a different color, which I absolutely love when there's room like that. And for the second stencil, all you have to do is line up the little guidelines on the balloons that you've already colored, and then you can do the second layer of balloons. Now for this balloon, you could mask off that yellow balloon, but because balloons are kind of translucent, I thought it would be great just to ink blend right over top. And so the part of the balloon where the pink is overlapping the yellow is going to look a little bit orange, which is what would happen if those balloons were in front of each other and they were slightly translucent. So I'm going to lift that up. I think this looks so cute. You can see that the stencil is 6 by 9, so you could work on a slimline card, but since I'm using the 4-bar card die set, I don't need that many balloons. So I'm going to hold that die temporarily in place and cut it out. This one does cut a little scallop border, and then the inside, I'm going to use both of these pieces. So I'm just going to keep them together, and then I will be able to adhere one flat to the card and then pop up the other one on dimensional adhesive. Now for the background, I am going to stencil some of the confetti. This time I'm turning it over and then taping down the back of the paper to the rest of the stencil. Since I'm not going to be using that right hand piece of the stencil, I'm just going to put a little bit more purple tape and then be able to ink blend on the left hand side. So this time I'm using Kitsch Flamingo, which is my favorite pink Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to blend that whole half on the left-hand side, which is over the A2 piece of white cardstock. Once that's done, I'm going to use the carved pumpkin that I used on the balloon at the bottom of that same stencil. I'm still working on the first layer of the confetti here, and this is just a fun way to get even more colors out of this layered stencil. You can do 2 colors on each layer. Now I'm going to line them up. You can see that there's lines for the confettis that you've already ink blended. Once I have them lined up, I'm going to flip it over and use some purple tape to temporarily hold it in place on the back. Since I'm not going to be using that top or that side, I don't need to worry about the tape back there. This time I'm going to use the same squeezed lemonade that I used on the balloons as well. I'm using the same 3 colors, just in different ways. So this time I'm going to blend the entire second layer of the stencil with the squeezed lemonade and fill in all those little nooks and crannies from top to bottom of the confetti. And once that's done, I am going to take a little bit of carved pumpkin and put it at the top. Last time we put the orange at the bottom. This time I'm putting it at the top with the yellow at the bottom. And this way you get really a fun mix of these 3 colors all over the place. I'm going to cut that out with a stitched rectangle from the 4-bar card die set, and then I'm going to use some tape runner to adhere down the little scalloped border that we cut out of the balloons and adhere that flat to our confetti there. Then once that is completely adhered down, I'm going to flip over the center part of the balloons and I'm going to pop those up on foam tape. I'm just going to use 2 different strips here and then remove those protective backings, and then I'm going to just place this like a puzzle piece inside the scalloped interior that I cut out of that border. So it'll just look like a fun pop-up part of that balloon stenciled background that we created. I'm going to use a sentiment from one of my favorite stamp sets from Trinity. It's the a sentiment for everything stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it in black ink. I'm going to stamp this right on top of the place where the yellow and the pink balloon overlap together. I think that makes it such a cute, quick and easy card, and I just love how clean and simple that is. I am going to put this all on an A2 piece of pink cardstock just to finish it off and turn it into an A2 card. You could keep it as a 4-bar as well. And that is it for a quick and easy, clean and simple birthday card to celebrate Trinity's birthday month. So if you're interested in the Trinity Stamps products that I used today, they'll all be linked down in the YouTube description box below the video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day.